the vision of an entrepreneur, the dream of the entrepreneur, that's the ticket. It's all about the passion and the dream and the vision. If you can see it and then if you can see the path to get there, no one can stop you.
Welcome to the Visibility Strategies for Women Entrepreneurs podcast, where we empower female business owners to step boldly into the spotlight and claim the recognition they deserve. I'm your host, Tori Barker. I'm passionate about helping women like you transform your visibility into tangible business success. Each week on this show, we'll dive deep into game-changing strategies, share inspiring success stories from women who've mastered their visibility, and offer practical, actionable advice you can implement immediately. Whether you're just starting your entrepreneurial journey, pivoting your business model, or ready to elevate your existing presence to new heights, you'll discover effective approaches to create exciting opportunities and expand your reach. So let's harness the power of strategic visibility and grow your business together. Welcome to the show. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again. I am so excited to introduce my guest, Corinne Goble. Corinne, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so for the listeners who may not know you, please tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay, that's a big question.
Where
I
do we
don't want to
start?
take too
Yeah.
long. Yeah. Um, I'm actually the daughter of a business owner. And that's like I came into the world born into a small business. It was a trucking company. And that really was formative for me. Going through college, my mom was running her trucking company. And in fact, it's why I dropped out of grad school, was because her trucking company needed some help. And so then I became intimately familiar with like operations and the financials and strategic planning and how to save a business.
Yeah.
And um, I guess that's where I cut my teeth on entrepreneurship. My mom really gave me the reins and said, technology has changed, the world has changed, and I need your fresh eyes to take us through this crisis. And so she had no business putting her trust in me, but I learned so much, and we came out with a profitable business that she could sell. And she went into day trading, so she's out of business, but I've been able to stick with it. So
Yeah.
I went into capital, basically lending and credit union work, and worked for a large international automotive company, Kia Motors. I ran my own PR firm. And then with all of that experience, I was able to do what I do now, which is run the Association of Women's Business Centers, which is this network of nonprofit organizations that help women and men, but we've got women in the name, Association of Women's Business Centers, helping women start and grow their businesses. And we're doing that through education and counseling. And the biggest hurdle we're finding is capital. So everything gets to
Mhm.
come back full circle.
Yeah, I love that. There's so many elements of your journey to get to where you are today that have shaped and molded you into this leader that you now are. And it's funny to kind of reflect and think back. Like in the moment, you're thinking, I'm doing this, I'm helping my mom, or I'm in, funding or lending or whatever it might be, and not really thinking of the big picture. But as you kind of reflect and look back, you think about how all of that has come together so beautifully to put you in the position that you are today to help so many business leaders. And so it's like I always love to kind of hear the journey story and put those pieces together because that's really what has made you the person that you are today. So it's just like, ugh, I love those stories.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. Like that's how we're also unique, when we can
Yeah.
leverage all of those individual puzzle pieces that make us so different and have different skills. So I'm glad I get to use them to help, women who are trying to grow their businesses.
Yeah. And so you mentioned that capital is the biggest challenge right now with female entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs in general. What are you seeing as like the biggest challenge? Is it just awareness? Is it access? Is it competitiveness? Like there's too many people looking for funding. What is the challenge? What's the biggest challenge?
We could run a full day of programming just on the challenges. There are so many. And the world around lending, commercial lending, it's changed.
Yeah.
There was a time when, and this is why women's business centers exist. If I can take you back to like when I was 10 years old, back in 1988, and my mom was applying for her a big commercial loan. Um, we had just gotten away from the requirement that women had to have a man co-sign on a
Mm.
commercial loan. Any man. You don't have a husband? Find another man. You don't have a brother? Find a different man. You don't have a dad? Doesn't matter. Get a different, like any
Wow.
man will do. And and so that was the challenge that women faced early on was this sort of structural barrier.
Mm.
And then because so many banks maybe knew they couldn't require for a cosign, they could still ask for one because they may have just said your borrowing profile just isn't strong
Mm.
enough without that additional borrower, male or
Yeah.
female.
Yeah.
So anyway, where we are today with now that doesn't seem to be as much, though sometimes an issue. The bigger issue now is, and this is all small business owners, they're looking at the lending products and they're thinking, is it worth it for me to go through the hoops to borrow this commercial money and put my own house as collateral
Mm.
or leverage my own personal assets? And that's often what's required when we're looking at commercial loans. It's almost like the loans that aren't guaranteed by the federal government, by SBA. No, it's like those don't even exist anymore. Back in the
Yeah.
day when my mom was out there trying, looking for loans, an SBA loan was just one of many products. Now it's kind of like the only thing out there that banks want you to take advantage of, and you can't blame them because
Yeah.
that's the money they get that's guaranteed. So if the borrower doesn't repay it, they've got the SBA, there to make good on at least a portion. Um, that's a different environment where
Mm.
the borrowers are looking at the requirements going, I need to borrow the money, but I don't
Is it,
think I want to sign my entire life away
yeah. Is it worth
and
it?
and leverage it. So
Yeah.
now, so it seems like today's world is more about the education, not because women aren't savvy enough to know what a commercial loan is. It's educating them on, well, what are your other options?
Yeah.
If it's not an SBA loan, like what else could you be doing? Is it leveraging a second mortgage
Mm.
on your home or mortgaging your home or something along those lines so that you can take advantage of a home equity line of credit or something to leverage your business? Not ideal, but we're always looking for unique solutions that
Yeah.
maybe aren't available or readily obvious when you're out in the market.
Yeah. And do you think that this challenge, I'm assuming, has an effect, or what's the word I'm looking for? Has to do with a lot of entrepreneurs not being successful and being having to shut down their business after, what's the statistic? 5 years. Most businesses don't make it past 5 years. Um, do you think that this is a contributor to that?
Well, it is, but not for the obvious reason.
Yeah.
It is because if they didn't think about capital before they needed it, they won't be able to get it. So, yeah, right. Like we're telling businesses before you are even profitable, start thinking about what your capital needs might be so
Yeah.
that when you're profitable and in a positive cash position, now you need to be looking for that line of credit or other type of, capital, whatever that might be. So that when you do need it, it's ready for you. By the time you need it and you've spent
It's
through
too
all
late.
of your other liquidity, you won't be able to get it.
Yeah. It's so interesting. And when you're talking about, back when you were 10 and your mom, we had just come out of this time frame where, like you said, women had to have a cosigner of a male. Like even just thinking how far we've come in such a short amount of time from that time to where we are today, we still have challenges when it comes to women in business. And so it's like, what is it going to take to educate the society, economy, business owners so that we no longer have to overcome these sort of struggles. I'm sure that you hear all the time different things that are challenges. I'd love to hear your perspective on those.
Yeah, well, we're doing our part in terms of providing available education. We have lots of resources we could talk to you about, and we're advocating for small business, women-owned businesses when it comes to
Hmm.
policy. But there is a piece of this that's the responsibility of the business owner. And
True.
one of the things I hate to, I hate like buying into archetypes or stereotypes, but I'm just going to tell you what I do see is women don't, generally speaking, they don't like getting into the finances. They
Mm,
don't like building forecasts and budgets. And every small business owner seems to avoid the business plan.
yeah. Right,
This
which
is
that
so
should be the
important.
first step, right?
They just say, I know I've got it in my head, but it really helps to document it. So much comes to
Yeah.
light in the process. And if you use some of these new tools, they have AI built into them. You don't even have to be writing your text. You can put a couple thoughts and bullets, and the AI
Yeah.
will write the rest. It'll even write the things in there you didn't think about.
Yeah.
So it's not just about writing the business plan, it's about having a plan. It's like the old adage, failing to plan. It's planning to fail. And they think, well, it's all in my head. I don't need one.
Yeah.
But there is so much value in getting it on paper and then coming back and looking at it again, within a year and then having those forecasts.
Yeah.
It really separates, in many cases, it separates really great businesses from the good ones.
Yeah. That's so true. Can you talk a little bit more about the other organization that you have built, the Hope to Women, and how that ties into your plan and mission and the vision that you have?
Well, I will, and it was born out of the work of women's business centers. We were trying to at our association trying to find a way just to help women find our women's business centers. There's so much confusion. Most people have never heard of a women's business center. And you add that word center on the end, and people, they kind of ignore it because they don't know what it means. And so they say, well, I'm a women-owned business, so I must be a women business center. Help me.
Yeah.
And we were saying we're the association for the centers. So you need a women's business center that can help you. We were kind of like turning people away. And that didn't feel very good. And then they weren't really necessarily finding the support they needed. So we
Yeah.
created Hope to Women, and that stands for helping others by promoting entrepreneurship, hope to women.org. And it wasn't to replace women's business centers, it was to complement and it was to help businesses get in the door. Come
Mm,
to us, tell us who you are and what you need. Now we can make a warm introduction to whatever resource you need. It might be a women's business center. Most often that's it. It might be a veteran business outreach center, might be a procurement assistance center they call Apex, or we might even just keep you with us because we might have some great resources and there might not be a women's business center in your community or in your area. So thus Hope to Women was born. And once we got things going with that, we came back to that repeated challenge we kept seeing with funding, and we created a little bit of a funding journey. So women own really any business can come through there and do a very private
mm,
self-assessment any time of the day or night. And you can we kind of take you through the little checklist. Are you ready? And if not, say you answered that you don't have your business plan. Well, we're going to provide a business plan tool that we suggest that we think is really great that could help you. So if you can't check all the boxes, we've got a lot of the resources there to help you do that.
yeah, that's amazing. What do you think women struggle the most with when it comes to being seen or being visible?
Well, a lot of times, and I think we're getting better. Probably things like the work that you're doing and the work that we're doing is all helping, and women are getting more confident. Women sometimes don't feel comfortable taking up space.
Mm.
Like if you even just physically watch a woman and watch a man and the way they sit in a chair couldn't be more different. Like we know about the kind of like typical like man spread. Women Women have the opposite. We don't try to take up space. We try to minimize our slice of real estate. And that disposition physically, it carries through in almost every other way.
Mm.
When we speak up, we're more likely to rush our comments, to apologize for speaking. Um, we're afraid to take up that space too. And like, why do we do that? We earned the position. We've earned the right to be there. We've earned the right to be in the room and at the table. We've earned the right to promote ourselves and to brag about our impact.
Yeah.
And we've earned the right to make a profit doing it.
Yeah.
So I think it all comes back to that confidence and feeling like you deserve to be there and you deserve to breathe the air in the space where you are.
Yeah, yeah. I talked to so many women, obviously through the podcast, who have those common comments or experiences where they have at one point made themselves small, or held back from saying the things that they really knew needed to be said or heard, and all these things. And the transformation coming out of that, I think, has a lot to do with, like you said, confidence and clarity, but also community, I think, is a big thing. And surrounding yourself with other dynamic and amazing women entrepreneurs to kind of like cheer you on and encourage you and make you feel like, yes, it is okay. We're here together. It's like that, the saying, like, what is it? High tide raises all ships, or something along those lines. It's like we all have to come together to support one another so that we can all make a big difference, because women entrepreneurs have so many amazing gifts to share and offer, and services that we cannot be invisible in this world. We have to speak up and stand out so that we can make an impact and a difference. And so, like the work that you're doing to educate them, make them feel more confident, make them understand the things that they may not know, or still need to learn from, is so important. So the work that you do is just amazing. And I just love being able to share this with the audience.
Yeah, and it's like not asking for permission.
Yeah.
It's like you've earned it. So,
Yeah.
ask to be there, ask to be on the stage, ask to have your name written on the program, ask to be on the panel, ask. It's like any man would do it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't a woman do it? And
Yeah.
then, like you said, surround yourself with the great people. I was once in a room, Tori, where some gentlemen in the back of the room, I'm like 4 slides in. I only have like 10 slides. This is not a huge presentation. I think it was 20 minutes. I'm 4 slides in, and the gentleman in the back of the room said, is this going to be over soon? We'd like to get on to the other business.
Oh my
And
gosh.
what I realized was, thank goodness times have changed. In that moment, I had the awareness to know I I'm not the one that looks foolish right now. They do. That has not always been the case. So um, we are in a world where
Mm.
we're surrounded by community. We are in a world where we're empowered to be there.
Yeah.
And when you get these outliers that speak up that way, thank goodness now is the time they're the ones who
Yeah.
look foolish or silly, and it's not us. So stay the course. I
Yeah.
didn't apologize at all. Well, I kind of did, but just jokingly. And I said, like, I'm so sorry. This is going to take even longer now because I've lost my train of thought. I don't even remember what I was saying thanks to this interruption. And let me remind you, I was invited to be here. So let's come back to what I was saying when I can think about it. Like I delayed for a while, like, no,
Yeah.
you can't treat me that way.
You're like, let's
Um,
just start from the beginning.
and the whole room like came back and apologized and
Yeah.
said that we don't, this isn't acceptable by us. And so, just verified what I was saying, that the
Yeah.
world, it's just not the same world as it was in 1988 when we weren't supposed to be in the front of the room, but now we are.
Yeah. What would you say is one of the most underestimated strengths that women entrepreneurs have that they don't realize?
Ooh, well, I mean, this is also all entrepreneurs. Um, it's it's problem solving, but it's not just fixing the problem in the moment. It's the anticipating what could go wrong or go
Mm.
well, and it's planning for the future. The vision of an entrepreneur, the dream of the entrepreneur, that's the ticket. It's all about the passion and the dream and the vision. If you can see it, and then if you can see the path to get there, no one can stop you. No matter how many banks tell you no matter how many advisors or colleagues tell you it's a bad idea, if you can see the vision and how to get there, I've just seen so many times people it, truly like our most successful businesses, you can name like the biggest brands, and those founders, they're probably on the spectrum somewhere. They're like not okay. You're
Yeah.
okay to be thought of as a little bit crazy if your idea is out there and your dream is big. So I think that's an asset, and I think it's something we should embrace.
Yeah. So one final question. What piece of advice would you give to a female entrepreneur if they are feeling like they're struggling and not knowing where to start? What's one thing that they can start with today?
Definitely check us out at Hope to Women, that hopetowomen.org. Um, can I give a second piece of advice too?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'd say if you don't already have one, we'd love to work with you, but also we're going to suggest you build your BALE team.
Mm,
Your group that's going to bail you out of problems even before they happen. And BALE stands, it's an acronym of like these t type of advisors that you surround yourself with, your banker, your accountant, your insurance agent, and your lawyer. And they don't have to be your lawyer and accountant, but people of those expertise that you can bounce ideas off of, and even ask them, ask another lawyer if the lawyer what the lawyers are telling you, if it makes sense, is this
yeah.
valid? So having your bail team close by and on a text basis is it's so important.
Oh, yes. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being a guest and sharing this knowledge and insight and expertise. And like I said, I'm just so grateful to have you and be able to share what you do. You mentioned hopetowomen.org. Is there anywhere else where people can get in touch with you to learn more about how they could work with you?
Well, yes, if you email us at info@hopetowomen.org, we always, or I think it's hello@hopetowomen.org is another one. There's a request assistance button on our website though, and we get to know you a little bit through that information and then match you up with a free consultation. It's 15 minutes. In fact, we don't charge for anything. Yeah, so if talking to me is what you want, they can get you in touch with me, or we can get you to an advisor who's honestly much more qualified if it's business coaching that you need. So, yeah, we'd love to hear from everybody.
Well, thank you so much for being a guest. It's been a pleasure, and I'm so grateful to have you here.
Thank you so much. It was great to be here.